Grow me flowers? Oh my God, I love it. It's been so long.
Welcome back to Bravo Breaking News. Last night, we had the final episode of Vanderpump Rules, and that was The Secrets Revealed. And we got a peek into some of the scenes that didn't make it to air this season, as well as some new footage of the post-Scandival days. So I am here to break down what you need to know, but first, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any Bravo breaking news. So the episode started off with a scene that I kind of wished we would have gotten more of throughout the season, and that is Katie and Schwartz post-divorce. So we know they divorced, shortly before the season started filming, and they kind of showed us a glimpse into their life after that and the fact that they were still living together during this time. Obviously, this is like a super awkward thing to have to do, but it kind of seems like they were making it work until Schwartz decided to ask Katie if she was dating. Now, in my opinion, why ask if you don't want to know the answer? Katie even is like, "Are you sure you want to know?" He says yes. She tells him, and he kind of breaks down, basically. I mean, this is a tough situation for anybody to be in, but I think Schwartz still living with her, and the fact that she is going out and kind of creating a life for herself and dating other people, I don't know, hits close to home for him. I mean, literally. So that was kind of tough to watch, but we see Katie in a confessional basically saying, I did this for my own self. I did this for my own happiness. I am tired of trying to stand up and back up my relationship year after year. And finally, I want to live for myself and myself only. And honestly, justice for Katie. This season was kind of supposed to be about her. This season was meant to kind of focus on her and Schwartz, post-divorce and kind of trying to live parallel lives during this situation. But of course, it totally got thrown off track because of Scandival. So I just want to say justice for Katie. We also got probably one of the most cringe scenes of the episode, and that was at Tom and Ariana's house. So we find out that this is the morning after the guys' night at the Mondrian. Ariana did not go, but who did go? Raquel. That's right. Raquel showed up to the Mondrian that guys' night, and we know now that they hooked up this night. So when Raquel walks through that door holding flowers, which are of course meant to be for Ariana because her dog had just passed away, and Sandoval welcomes her with open arms and a smile and, takes these flowers from her. It just triggers me in a way that I have never been triggered before. I mean, talk about acting like nothing happened. This is going above and beyond. Yes, Ariana's dog just died, but these flowers are almost signaling like, I'm sorry your dog died, and I'm also sorry that I hooked up with your partner 8 hours ago. It was so cringe. And the way that, Tom and Raquel are kind of flirting and being very touchy-feely in the kitchen is really, really ick. It's really disgusting, and they have no regard for Ariana. They then move over to the couch, and Raquel is filling everybody in on what happened in Vegas after Ariana had to leave. And she's talking about Oliver, about the comment, that she made to Lala, how she didn't have a man when Lala said, you shouldn't be trusted around my man. And Tom is looking at her first, like almost like stoic with no expression. And it's like he is purposely trying to keep a straight face while she's saying all of this because obviously they had just hooked up 8 hours before. It's like anybody hearing this story would have a normal expression or reaction, but he has none until the end when they share a little smile and laugh together, which really just makes me sick. Again, they are doing this right in front of Ariana's eyes. I mean, even the dog can sense something is up. So this scene was really, really tough to watch and just goes to show that they really have no remorse and they thought it was a joke, a game they were playing, and they were having fun with it the entire time. We also got a glimpse at one of Tom and Ariana's dates. So they went on like this really cute roller skating date on Sunset where they dressed up like in 70s gear. It was so cute. And Tom could not stop telling Ariana how hot she was. I mean, obviously, she's smoking hot. That's not the issue here. The issue here is that he is like trying so hard. He is like overcorrecting in this situation to like make it known that he is putting in an effort. Now, this scene also proves that although Sandoval said he kept trying to break up with Ariana and things were so bad, this is proof that they were both trying to make their relationship work amidst the affair happening. So as much as Tom can tell Raquel that he was trying to break up with Ariana, that things were done, that they were not in a good place, I mean, you can tell they are in therapy during this time, most likely, and they are really trying to salvage the relationship that they have. And not only that, but we see Ariana once again stand up for Raquel. They're having a pool party the next day, and she's like, nobody can tell me not to invite Raquel. Like, they're going to have to try a lot harder for me to not like Raquel. And it is so, again, I keep saying this, but so tough to watch how ride or die Ariana was for Raquel. I hope Raquel is watching this and is feeling way worse than she already feels. Speaking of Raquel, we did get a cute little scene of her and Scheana like making jewelry at this little, maker's shop. And she's telling Scheana about the sleepover in question. She kind of gives Scheana a play-by-play of what happened that night. They went in the jacuzzi. Then Sandoval offered her the social media guest room to stay in. Okay, we know it was a guest room that she stayed in, but this is the first time we are hearing the word social media room. And I just have to ask you guys, what is a social media room? What does that entail? Is this a room where Tom and Ariana would do social media? Do they, do photography and brand collaborations in this room? Like, I guess, but I don't know. Number one, it's weird to call it that. And number two, it's kind of weird that Raquel is just using this term just so naturally in a sentence because it is not a natural thing to have, let alone talk about. But anyway, I digress. So Raquel admits that nothing happened with Sandoval and nothing happened with Schwartz that night, though we do know she is in fact lying. And Scheana kind of calls her out on this because Brock talked to the Toms earlier that day and asked them if she slept over, and they said no. And then she kind of backtracks and is like, well, should I have said no? And this is, boop, red flag. Like, my signals are going off right now. And Scheana's should have too, because now they're conspiring oh, I didn't lie, but should I have? Because the Toms are lying, and this is just the beginning of them all trying to get their story straight, as we heard at the reunion. So I don't know. This was a major red flag moment for me. And of course, we get one of the scenes that we saw in the trailer but never got to see on the episodes, which, Sheena's basically saying, yeah, I'm the OG homewrecker, and Raquel's saying, everybody's painting me to be the homewrecking whore. And they flash forward to her confessional where she is admitting hooking up with Sandoval while Ariana was away. And I just want to say thank you, editors, because you said you weren't a home-wrecking whore, but you actually are. So as Lisa Vanderpump shares, they filmed a lot after the post-Sandoval news came out, but they could only show so much. So we did get a few new scenes from those days after the affair came out. One of which was with James and Allie. So James is kind of talking about the apology that Raquel issued on social media days after the news broke. And he basically says what we were all thinking. There is no way that Raquel wrote this herself. And he is not calling her dumb. Maybe I am, I don't know, but he's saying that basically these are not her words, she would never talk like this. This was obviously coming from her PR company. And he also makes another comment how the most tragic thing about this is Graham's life? Like, is Tom Sandoval now going to be Graham's dog dad? Like, it is so sad. And James is once again just delivering the shadiness that we need in this moment. And it also kind of becomes clear that he is really, really hurt by Sandoval in all of this. He's showing text messages of, Tom actually texting him that night that the news broke, acting like nothing happened. And they're kind of talking about like the music gigs or maybe an upcoming show, because they were working together quite a bit before all of this went down. And I think that Sandoval had kind of taken James under his wing. They kind of became this duo. James was opening up for Tom's shows a lot, DJing. And I think that James really formed a strong relationship with Tom and kind of maybe even looked up to him. But that has all crumbled. And you can tell James is extremely upset by it. He basically says that Tom threw away his beautiful home and beautiful girl for a stupid bimbo. And I couldn't agree more. He also says that Raquel is basically using him like he used James. So I think it's kind of, for clout. It kind of seems like she's a social climber at this point. She started dating James and she started becoming, more regular on the show. And then now she's moving on to Sandoval, who is or was one of the main characters of the show. So it's pretty clear that, James might have a point here. Now it's all starting to make a lot more sense why James was so activated at the reunion. People were questioning why he was going so off the rails and was so offended by what Tom did and was, making these jabs and accusations at him. But I truly think that on top of Tom dating and hooking up with his ex-fiance, he also trusted Tom as a friend. They were forming a real bond, and Tom just threw that in the trash, just like he did Ariana. So I don't know about you, there weren't many secrets revealed in this Secrets Revealed episode, but we did get some interesting tidbits. And I do have to say that overall, it made Tom and Raquel look even worse than they already look. They were flaunting this in front of everybody's faces. They were making comments to their friends, kind of, implying their innocence, when in reality, all of this was going on in the background. And it's just kind of proof that they have no remorse. So that is that on Vanderpump Rules. I cannot believe the season is over. Although the season is over, I still think we have a lot to look forward to as far as Scandival. We still need to find out what the future of Tom and Raquel's relationship is going to be. Who's going to be returning for next season? They are going to be picking up cameras very, very soon. So I will be here to update you all on everything. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any Bravo breaking news. And we will resume with Bravo episode recaps in the coming weeks. We'll see you next time.